The baseball season is underway, but it doesn't truly begin until the hometown fans have their day. It's opening day at the Big A. The Angels are looking to get back to the playoffs again, and the motivation for going beyond 2014's success sits in the visitors' dugout tonight. AL MVP returns better than ever, with plenty of support behind him. The Halo faithful will welcome their stars back tonight, planning on a year full of celebrations to come.
Oh, man, I love every minute of it! Woo!
Angels baseball is next on Fox Sports West.
For the right time to give it back to you.
The Halos kicked off the 2015 campaign in grand fashion, taking the series victory over the Seattle Mariners. This opening week continues tonight. It is their 2015 home opener. And not only that, it's the Kansas City Royals in town to start a three-game set against the defending American League Western Division champions. Hi, everybody, from inside the Big A, we welcome you back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West. Along with Mark Kubica, I'm Victor Rojas. So glad you could join us once again. And I know we talked about it just a couple of days ago about kicking off the season, but there's something special about a home opener.
Oh, Victor, the energy here for the home opener, just the atmosphere and the opponent you're playing, the team that you played in the postseason last year, it is electric right now.
Yeah, scary to think the last time the Angels played a game, it unfortunately was here against the Kansas City Royals. We'll talk more about that throughout the broadcast, but going back to that series against the Seattle Mariners, long ball was prevalent. Not only that, long ball prevalent from guys in the middle part of the order.
And they were facing some tough pitching up there in Seattle, but the guys they want to hit home runs certainly squared up some baseball. Mike Trout, the reigning MVP, first at bat of the season, just like the first at bat of the season last year against King Felix, goes yard to center field. The energy he brings each and every at bat. David Freese had a fantastic spring training, came up with a big hit, enabled the Angels to win the second game of the series, drive that ball out the right center field. That's not an easy poke to hit one out in Seattle, but David Freese has been using the entire ballpark and the machine. Did he ever cover one? First pitch was up and in, next pitch was way out of the ballpark. 521 career home runs for Albert Pujols. All three of these hitters who hit home runs up in Seattle all have very, very good career numbers against the Kansas City Royals. They're going to need that tonight against Jason Vargas.
I know a lot of people wondering what the Kansas City Royals are going to do in 2015. Well, they're coming off a series sweep, a boat racing, if you will, of the Chicago White Sox. So they are for real. That's why they are the defending American League champions. A couple of lefties on the mound today. Hector Santiago getting the ball for Mike Scioscia. Jason Vargas on the hill for the Kansas City Royals. We're just about ready for baseball here in Southern California. Sit back and relax. Lineups and first pitch when we return. Angels baseball is brought to you Ready to start game one of this three-game series. Hector Santiago is ready. Let's take a look at the Kansas City Royals starting nine as presented by manager Ned Yost. Alcides Escobar will lead things off at shortstop. Mike Moustakas is uncustomary, but in the number 2 spot, he's the third baseman. Lorenzo Cain at center. Eric Hosmer is the cleanup hitter. Kendrys Morales, the former Halo, is the DH. Alex Gordon in left. Alex Rios in right field. Salvador Perez is doing the catching, and it is Omar Infante batting ninth and playing second base as they take on the 27-year-old left-hander native of Newark, New Jersey, by the name of Hector Santiago.
And Hector Santiago, solid season, especially the last half of the season, 6-9 with an ERA 3.75 for Hector. But the key for Hector to be successful tonight, control their running game. The Kansas City Royals are all about being aggressive and follow a line, that same line from the pitching rubber to his landing spot. If he stays close to that, he will be consistent with his release point.
Now, if the term boat racing is a little bit harsh, it is actually what exactly happened with the Kansas City Royals and the White Sox. The Royals scored 21 runs in that three-game set against the White Sox, a team that many thought would be, because of all the changes, would be running away with the Central. The Kansas City Royals, on the other hand, have other thoughts.
Yeah, they're very aggressive. They put the ball in play. Not generally a lot of power, but they did show some power in that series with 5 home runs against Chicago.
Here's the first one of the home schedule, and it's a fastball fouled back. This is a very aggressive Kansas City Royals ball club. The leadoff man, Alcides Escobar, off to a hot start. A lot of these guys on the offensive side are off to hot starts. 6 for 12 to start the season with a couple of doubles. Very good speed as he cuts through that one. And it is no balls and 2 strikes. Hector Santiago, a season ago, 6-9, a 3.75 ERA in his first season as an Angel. 30 games, 24 starts. 0-2. Just missed down and in, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's a good spot, though. Didn't miss by much. What it does now as a hitter, you know he's around the strike zone. Now you have a chance to expand the zone against him. Escobar reaching. And fouls it off to the right, so the count remains at 1-2. We'll get you the Angels defensively here momentarily. That was a product of a close pitch before. That was well off the plate. He swung at it. That's what you want to see if you're on the mound. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Escobar a season ago hit .285 for Kansas City. 34 doubles and 31 stolen bases. 2-2. Broken bat bouncer towards short. Ibar has it. And there's the first out of the ball game. Let's check out the Angels defensively tonight. Colin Cowgill in left, Mike Trout at center. It's Cole Calhoun in right. The infield consists of David Freese and Eric Ibar on the left side. Johnny Giavotella and Albert Pujols on the right side with Chris Iannetta behind the plate. And Albert Pujols was so good last season, very good in spring training. .997 fielding percentage last year, which led American League first baseman in that category. Won Gold Gloves for St. Louis in 06 and 2010. He looks very, very agile at the first base position so far this year. Moustakas swinging first pitch, skies one to the left side. It's Eric Ibar calling for it. 2 down. My Hyundai key for this game today. Time of Our Lives by Pitbull and Neo. Anytime you get that home opener, that energy. AL MVP in center field. The energy here. Hector Santiago quickly getting the first 2 outs. Want to go out there and perform at the highest level against a team that beat you last year in the postseason. The 2 outs and the bases clear, and it's Lorenzo Cain, the center fielder, coming up. Cain already with a home run and 4 runs batted. As a matter of fact, Kansas City has 5 home runs on the young season. As he takes outside for ball 1. This is out to the alley in left center field. That will get down and split the outfielder. Cain with good speed on his way to second. He will slow right there, and it's a 2-out double. Second of the season for Cain. Or that spot where Lorenzo Cain loves to crush a fastball. He got one. It was the inner half and down. Turned on that one well, split the gap. His fastball looked like it was designed to be more of an up and in fastball, but it was down and in, and Lorenzo Cain did not miss that one.
So the first base runner of the ball game is Lorenzo Cain via the double, and Eric Hosmer will step in now. Five for 14 to start with a home run and 4 RBIs. 270 last year with 9 home runs, 58 runs batted in, but he caught serious fire in the postseason for Kansas City. Ended up hitting 351 throughout the postseason. He'll look at a strike.
That's some pretty good power numbers in the postseason. Didn't have necessarily that power swing during the regular season. He got hot late. One of the big reasons why Kansas City got to the World Series was only a man to third base away from potentially going extra inning and winning the World Series.
There's Alex Gordon, the man who was held up. Ibar playing Hosmer up the middle. 2 outs, just underway. A ground out and a pop-up to start the ball game before Cain doubled, and now
a tough time, really. When they're man on second, the signs change up. You go with either the second or third sign after a certain number. And generally, that's already hashed out before the game starts.
Now, when you get this long of a conversation, is it the signs or is it
pitch
what
selection?
He wants to throw?
I think it's pitch selection right now. And one thing about Hosmer, he's pretty good as far as driving the ball the other way against a lefty when it's down.
Trout straight up at center. Cowgill, however, shading Hosmer toward the line. So big alley in left center. That's down and in, an off-speed pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hosmer's not a guy that gets cheated off in his swings at the plate.
Still feel from a lefty, a sharp, hard slider is a very good pitch against him. As long as you have established at some point that you can throw that pitch for a strike.
A lot of jockeying around here. So kind of odd considering first inning and everything.
And you're not worried necessarily about Lorenzo Cain. Even if you tried to steal third, you're still okay. There's 2 outs. You just got to concentrate on the batter.
Lifted, foul, and out of play. And it's 1-2.
More of a sweeping breaking ball. Now, if you could stay on top just a little bit better, if you're Hector Santiago, and snap that slider off down and away, you should get a swing and miss.
Former Angel Kendrys Morales on deck. Santiago did a nice job at spring training, trying to hone his mechanics, be able to repeat everything. 1-2, and he jammed him, rolled foul. Good location on a guy that likes to get out over the plate a little bit, especially after that last breaking ball.
And he's looking breaking ball. Still a good hard slider down and away out of the strike zone. Should result in an out.
Check swing, did not go. Many wearing the Angels home white uniforms on the field, taking a couple of steps toward the dugout.
Pretty close.
But Adam Hamari,
yeah, he went.
Yeah,
there's no doubt he went.
Adam Hamari, the third base umpire, says he did not go. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bill Miller behind the plate calling the balls and strikes. The crew chief, Doug Eddings at first, Jim Wolf at second, and the aforementioned Adam Hamari at third. Cain takes off. The 2-2 is pulled to the right side. Johnny Giavotella can't get it. It'll go into right field, and the Royals have themselves a 1-0 lead. A 2-out double followed by Hosmer's single. He picks up his 5th run batted in of the season.
And game going. He's going to score anyhow on this ground ball, so that doesn't really matter a whole lot if you're the pitcher on that play. But it's a breaking ball that got a lot of the plate. Middle part of the plate, it's down and away, doesn't get it. Good try by Giavitello to try to knock it down.
Here's Kendricks, signing a 2-year deal in the offseason. He's off to a 3-for-11 start. That was off the first pitch. A couple of doubles, a couple of runs batted in last year. Remember, did not sign till late. Ended up signing with Minnesota and eventually got traded to Seattle. Combined hit 8 home runs and drive in 42. One ball, one strike.
Morel showing pretty good patience early with 3 walks this year already. Generally very aggressive.
Batting in the 5th spot in the order. Alex Gordon in the 6th. Two balls, one strike. Really the one pitch you'd like to have back is a pitch to Lorenzo Cain, right in his wheelhouse, down and in.
Especially you get 2 quick outs. That's something that's bothered Hector at times throughout his career, getting those 2 quick outs like he did. And then fall behind, make a mistake, and then lo and behold, you have stress.
2 balls, 2 strikes. These two teams split the season series last year. You saw as still holds true, a very, very good and deep bullpen for Kansas City. Talk about shortening games. He did a lot of that. As Morales lines one and just beyond the reach of eyeball. That's 3 straight hits now for the Kansas City Royals. I wonder if that'll prompt a visit as Alex Gordon's coming up. Double and 2 singles.
Another pitch that didn't get exactly where Hector wanted to throw it. Middle part of the plate. And as a starting pitcher, especially when you're in a home opener, you just want to get through that top of the first. Your routine has been thrown off somewhat by the length of the ceremonies beforehand.
Gordon looks at a strike. Hector needed just 7 pitches to get the first 2 outs in this inning. He's thrown 14 pitches since.
What we say on the pregame show when we talk about Hector is avoiding those innings in which he throws a number of pitches, high pitch counts. Looked like it had a chance of being a very quick inning for Hector.
Spin move. Not sure I ever understand with an 0-2 count and 2 outs.
Especially with a left-handed batter up in a clear path, even though David Freese is well off the base at third.
Popped him up. Shallow left center field. Ibar going out, calling for it. And he'll make the catch. Kansas City, however, strikes for a run on 3 hits. Leave a couple on. They lead it 1-0. Nets the Royals a run as the Angels trailed at 1-0 here at the bottom of the first. And let's take a look at Mike Scioscia's starting lineup for tonight, game number 4 of the season. Cole Calhoun leading things off and right. Mike Trout at center. Albert Pujols at first base. David Freese, the cleanup hitter, at third. C.J. Cron gets a start tonight at DH. Eric Ibar, the shortstop. Chris Iannetta behind the plate. Colin Cowgill in left, and Johnny Giavotella gets a start at second base. And he will bat ninth as they take on the 32-year-old left-hander native of Apple Valley, California. And his name is Jason Vargas.
Yeah, our good friend Jason Vargas. Fastball 85-89. Curveball, very good changeup. Keys against Vargas. We've seen that throughout. Bring that changeup in. Don't swing it off the plate. And don't be pull happy. Don't try to pull everything. Use the middle of the field.
Cole looks at the strike. Calhoun off to a 1-for-12 start to kick off 2015 season. Taps this one foul.
And when Cole gets in a groove, he's hitting the ball very well to left center field, and then you get to starting to pull some pitches on the inner half. But that baseball travel a little bit deeper and drive it to left center.
One ball, 2 strikes. Vargas very familiar with the Angels, or facing the Angels in his career. 15 games, now 16 games, 15 starts. 9-4 record, a 3.02 ERA, and very good numbers here in this ballpark. 1-2. It is down and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He really liked his time wearing the Angel uniform too. Had a lot of good friends. Competed extremely well. In that great month of May for the Angels.
Tapper off the foot. Cal remains at 2-2. Signed as a free agent prior to last year with Kansas City. Won 11 games at an ERA of 3.71 last season. 187 innings of work. And the splits were pretty much even as far as lefties righties for him.
He doesn't necessarily have a dominating pitch to get a lot of swing and misses necessarily against left-handed batters. That's why you see the very similar splits between righties and lefties.
This will back up the middle, but Escobar was shading Cole that way, and there's the first out. Defense for Kansas City tonight. In the outfield, Gordon, Kane, and Rios from left to right. The infield has Moustakas, Escobar, Infante, and Hosmer around the infield from third to first, and Perez behind the plate.
And Lorenzo Cain out in center field for Kansas City. He had a fantastic year. 8 outfield assists, 2 errors. Had 93 starts in center, 29 in right. But boy, did he cover a lot of ground last season, especially in the postseason where he made some unbelievable plays.
Oh, and hit at the knees. Trout kind of looking. I think he cared for that call. And it's 0-1. The MVP chance in the background. 1 ball, 1 strike.
6 for 15 in his career versus Vargas. Trout is with a home run.
3 for 11 to start the year with a home run. A couple of runs batted in. 2 balls, 1 strike. Back up the middle, snagged by Vargas. Actually pops out of his glove. 2 down.
And a pretty good swing against Vargas back up the middle. This time he knocked it down. Didn't panic. He's a veteran. Knows what he's doing on the mound. This ball was hit pretty hard by Trout right back up the middle. But falling that way as a left-handed pitcher towards that third base side of the pitching mound. Recovers and throws out Trout.
So 2 outs, nobody on, and Albert coming up. Vargas did make a start against the Angels in the division series last year. Got a no decision, but went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, 3 hits. Albert skies this one foul behind the plate.
Well, he had a pretty good pitch to drive there. Alba career-wise against Kansas City, .333 batting average with 18 home runs.
Albert with 2 hits so far this year, both extra base hits, a double and a home run. Home run he hit the other day is 521st of his career, tying him for 18th all time. Frank Thomas, Willie McCovey, Ted Williams.
Some pretty good names.
Yeah, not bad. Jimmy Fox is next on the list at 17 with 534. Kansas City with a run in the top of the first inning. RBI single by Hosmer. Scored Kane, who had doubled with 2 outs. Off the end of the bat, foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Is that off-speed pitch?
Yeah, Jason Vargas pitches backwards. In other words, in fastball counts, expect off-speed. In off-speed counts, that's when he'll try to jam you with a fastball inside.
Albert reaching for this one, flares it into foul territory. Hosmer giving chase, goes into a slide, and what a nice play by the first baseman. The Angels go down in order here in the first. We'll head to the second with Kansas City on top 1-0.
Season during the middle of the year for Hector. Sorted out 0-7 his first 14 games. Last 16 though, dealt 6-2 mark with a 3.12 ERA.
Santiago delivers a strike to Rios. Bottom third of the order for Kansas City here in the second. Rios, Perez, and Infante. Alex signing a deal in the offseason, 1-year contract for the last couple of seasons with Texas. 1 ball, 1 strike. 5 for 12 to start the year. Home run and 3 RBIs. Had 280 last year for Texas. Drove in 54. Now it's back, and it's 1-2. Royals last year second as a team at batting average at .263. Halos were third. 10th in on base percentage at .314. And 11th in slugging. But boy, oh boy, did they catch fire down the stretch. This one fouled off. Not only that, the base running. I mean, that would to me was the neutralizer, the difference maker for Kansas City. Not only did they get hot offensively with the bat, but they just Ran wild on the base pass.
And I think that what it does for you as a pitcher, when you see a team that aggressive with that success running the bases, you're more apt to throw more fastballs to give your catcher a better opportunity to throw at the would-be base stealer, and hitters like the fastball a lot better than an all-speed pitch.
3-2 popped up. First base side. Pujols not going to get there. This one into the seats.
Looks like Rios has his hands down a little bit lower again this year. Trying to be a little quicker. Last year had a tough time as far as the power numbers. Hands are lower.
This one down the right field line. Long run for Calhoun. It's slicing away from him. Not going to get there.
It's a dangerous play. That wall, there's not a lot of give right there. There's padding on it, but cement wall. Good effort, though, by Cole Calhoun. A slide knowing that's a difficult play. And there's not a lot of give in that wall.
That is pulled to left field. Is it going to hang up for Colin Cowgill? It does. There's the first out. 9-pitch at bat, and it's a first out. Hey, folks, tonight's broadcast is being broadcast on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces serving around the world on land and on ships at sea. We welcome you to our broadcast, and as always, we thank you for your service.
Well, that baseball was hit well. Cowgill, good read on that one, aggressive. Solid outfielder, could play all three outfield positions. Nice play on that ball. Hit well by Rios.
Salvador Perez takes outside. Royals catcher. 260 last year. Career high 17 home runs. 70 runs batted in. 24 years old, native of Venezuela.
One of the best all-around catchers in baseball.
Locked up through next year.
At a good deal for the Royals.
Foul back.
He's one of the few guys that actually had a pretty good swing against Madison Bumgarner last year in the World Series. Had a home run against him, but also did make the final out.
Hits this one out to left center. It's playable for Trout. 2 down.
A lot of times you think of Hector Santiago as a ground ball pitcher, but he's more so a fly ball. But you remember that game last year, he didn't record one ground ball out in a game and got pretty deep in the ball game. A lot of fly ball outs for Hector. Out in front on his off-speed pitch, his changeup, which has become a very effective pitch for him. And moves the fastball inside and outside very well.
It seems like when he gets in trouble is the inability to locate his changeup to right-handed batters. The off-speed pitch away and spotting that fastball. So, case in point right now, he's 1-0 count on Infante, missed fastball away. But that always seems to be kind of that trouble spot. Then when he has to throw a strike, it tends to kind of cut back over the sweet spot of the play like Lorenzo Cain.
Cut across the spot. I had a conversation with Mike Socha just about that, especially his changeup with Hector. He thinks at times Hector thinks his swing and miss pitch with his changeup, but his mindset should be a pop-up or fly ball out with his changeup instead of a swing and miss. Now, Jared Weaver has a swing and miss changeup. Hector has a changeup that can get some easy outs off the end of the bat.
A liner to Giavatelli. He has it in a 1-2-3 inning for Santiago. At the bottom of the second, Halos down to 1-0.
news from around the majors on the Cardinals Jr. Sports Update. Some pretty good games already, even though early in the season, some intriguing games.
Looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
The old Carl's Jr. Sports Update. It's been a while.
Yeah.
You didn't tease us, though.
I got some good ones for you. I'm just leaving it there for you.
All right. David Freese looks at a strike. It'll be Freese, Crone, and Ibar. 4, 5, and 6 for the Angels here in the second. Vargas had himself a 1-2-3 first. Freese 2 for 11 so far, one of which was a home run as he rolls over this one. That's kind of what you were talking about with Vargas. You almost have to look off speed and drive it up the middle with him.
I mean, Trout did it, Cole Calhoun. You just got to stay back and think on the other side of the field. He will come inside with his fastball. We've seen that from Vargas throughout his career. He will come back in with a fastball, but he's trying to get you out with a changeup off the plate.
That's seldom, though, for a strike, isn't it? It's more for effect, his fastball into righties.
It's all for show. But occasionally he will make a mistake trying to come inside. That's the one you got to jump on. Otherwise, you look away, use the big part of the field. And if we've seen this throughout his career, when he sees hitters staying on his changeup, he will throw more fastballs after that.
Fastball in, breaking ball away. 0-2 count to C.J. Crone. DH tonight, hitless so far to start the year, 0 for 6. Matt Joyce not in the lineup today with a lefty on the mound. Calgill getting the start in left. It's kind of been what Socia said, spring training. He said Matt Joyce will get some opportunities against lefties. It just depends on the matchup. This one's out to left field. Hit well, but playable for Gordon. 2 down. Fans Angels Radio AM 830 will be hosting an autograph session with pitcher Matt Shoemaker tomorrow from 12 to 1 at the Cox Solutions Store, located on Irvine Boulevard in Irvine. Come meet Matt, the Angel Strike Force, and enjoy Jersey Mike's Sub. How about that? While supplies last. For more info, visit am830.net.
Like those subs. Jersey Mike's.
Just because it's an East Coast thing?
Yeah. They're good, too.
Are they?
I go there quite a bit.
Eric Ibar lifting one out to left center. Hit pretty well. Kane going back near the wall. He'll easily make the catch for the third out. The Angels go down in order. Ibar gave it a ride, just not enough. We'll head to the third. Taylor is still down. We begin the third. It's our pleasure to welcome you to our broadcast booth for the first time this year. And not the way you'd like to see Hector Santiago start this season off, but looked like he calmed down a little bit more of a flow at the last inning.
And we talked about routine may have been thrown off. Obviously, your first start out, home opener, a lot of ceremony, festivities going on. But since that point now, trying to establish the first pitch strike like we saw right here, and then you can expand the strike zone. Get outs with your changeup. Don't worry about swing and misses with it.
Escobar 0 for 1 as he grounded out in the first inning. Hector threw 23 pitches in the first, 18 in the second. Two balls, one strike. Perhaps helped out by Adam Hamari, the third base umpire, on the Hosmer plate appearance, which appeared to have gone around on a check swing, but Hamari says he did not.
The rules say when that bat especially crosses the plate, it's a swing.
Another meeting here with Iannetta, Santiago.
And I know in my conversations with Chris Iannetta in spring training about Hector, just trying to slow him down, make sure he's on the same page, but you also don't want to be at the point where you slow him down too much, where you end up grooving a pitch like you did there. That ball was right down the heart.
Yeah. And it seems like every time he's been behind in that count, they're sitting. I mean, this is a pretty good fastball hitting team, the Royals are. And if you're at 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, and that's all you can throw for a strike, you're in for a long night unless you can locate.
Not too easy to do this, but if you can establish first pitch fastball, get ahead, they will swing at pitches out of the strike zone, especially if you're throwing breakables or hard sliders, even changeups. You don't want to put yourself into fastball counts against this Kansas City lineup. They don't miss them too often.
Foul ball to the right.
You can see how aggressive they are when they know it's a fastball, or at least perceived as a fastball count. That's why Weaver has done well against Kansas City in his career. He'll throw a changeup in those fastball counts.
And he walked him. And that's just asking for trouble there. The speed of Escobar. I mentioned the 31 stolen bases he had last year.
And they have 6 already as a team. And the one thing about Ned Yost, he's not afraid to ask any of his hitters, even early in the game, to square around and bunt.
Moustakas popped out. His first plate appearance.
Very aggressive last year, 153 steals.
Ned Yost trying to mix it up a little bit with Moustakas at the plate. Just his 5th career game batting in the number 2 spot. And that hit him. And that's what a walk to a guy that's got speed will do to you. You worry too much about that guy and forget about business at hand.
You try to be quicker on a slide step, and you end up missing your spot in location, dropping your elbow. See how his arm's going across his body. And the reason why they have Moustakas sitting in that number 2 spot, they want him to use the whole field. I figured in that power spot, he was looking to hit a home run, trying to pull everything. He's trying to stay back. Even his home run this year was to left center field, his first of his career to that side of the field.
Lorenzo Cain double to the alley with 2 outs in the first inning. He's 1 for 1. Ball 1.
And don't put yourself in those counts where you have to throw a fastball to Lorenzo Cain.
Escobar working the walk, stands at second. Moustakas hit by a pitch, is over at first. 1-0 Kansas City here in the 3rd. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's very similar to the pitch he hit
to left center field. Maybe a bad time at some point to put a pickoff on the second base.
One ball, 2 strikes, and there's that. You're talking about the expanding of the strike zone. That they will expand their own strike zone. You're kind of in an even situation. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's looking for fastball, but it's just off the plate. Went ahead and pulled the trigger on it.
Yeah, when you get ahead, you can make those pitches. But when you're behind, you're forced more in the middle of the plate.
There's the 1-2. And down goes Kane for the first out.
And now it's time for Tools of the Trade presented. Brought to you by Ram Trucks. Eric Hosmer looked like he went as he was tied up in a fastball inside, crossed the plate, changed the inning. Instead of being out of the inning, got another opportunity to swing the bat. Ends up with a base hit score. And Lorenzo Kane, the only run of the game.
Hosmer steps in. That RBI picked up in the first inning, his 5th of the season. First baseman looks at the strike, and a nice play on the pop-up to Pujols in the first inning in foul territory, going into the slide. The Royals continue to play very good defense here in this ballpark against the Angels.
.54 pitches thrown, 34 of them strike, 20 out of the strike zone for Hector. Nice job by Chris Iannetta to move the body over to keep that in front. Well off the plate.
One ball, 1 strike. Hosmer, former first-round pick, 3rd overall back in 2008. Number of first-round picks the Royals have on their roster. This one lifted out of play. And it's a ball with 2 strikes. Pitch count getting up there, just 56 pitches already in the 3rd. 35 have been strikes. Going to say the second inning was a fairly easy inning. That it was a 1-2-3 inning, but that also included a 9-pitch plate appearance by Alex Rios to get the 1 out.
And the big thing is, this is a huge inning for Hector Santiago and the Angels. Now you're going to have a second time through coming up against Vargas. You had the off day yesterday. Maybe your timing's off initially with your first at-bats. Kansas City played yesterday.
Oh, chopper up the middle, Ibar. Thought about laying back on it to get the force out at second. Instead, alertly throws out Hosmer for out number 2.
Yeah, Eric Ibar is so smart. His instincts, baseball instincts, are fantastic. And he also realized he thought he might have a chance initially to be able to stay at the base and turn a 6-3 double play. But had to come in and get that key out. You wait back. Moustakas coming in hard to second base. You're not going to be able to turn a double play anyhow.
And not only that, Hosmer's not a burner per se, but I tell you what, for a big guy, gets down the line.
Yeah, because he was fooled, so he was already going down the line pretty well.
Good decision by Ibar. So second and third, 2 outs down. Here's Kendrys.
Morales single to left in the first inning.
That's the aggressive Kendrys Morales we're used to seeing.
Now if you can locate two changeups here.
And to have the trust in Chris Iannetta, if it is bounced in the dirt, to keep it in front of him. Almost was a cut fastball.
Well, it certainly looked different coming out of the hand, at least for Kendrys, because he kind of reacted awkwardly, surprised. Santiago trying to keep this a one-run deficit. Halos in the bottom of the third have the bottom third of their order coming up. Iannetta, Cowgill, and Giavitello. The 0-2 down him to reach and humped up to 92 on that fastball.
One thing from hitting from the right side, though, Kendrys Morales is pretty good on a high fastball. Fortunate enough, that fastball was off the outside corner. I know Chris Iannetta was setting up the sign upstairs, middle part of the plate, but that's a pitch that Morales can handle.
Got him swinging. Down goes Kendrys. Couple of strikeouts for Santiago. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Halo's still down. City. Remember, tomorrow night's game's a nationally televised game on FS1. Then it's a Sunday afternoon contest on the 12th. And off to the Lone Star State, 3 in Texas beginning on Monday. Off day on Thursday, and then 3 against the Astros before returning home on the 20th for 4 against Oakland.
Big pitch right there by Hector Santiago to get a swing and miss against a very good fastball hitter, Kendrys Morales. See if the hitters can take that momentum from the job well done by Santiago into some good swings against Vargas now.
Chris Iannetta 1 for 10 to start the year. If the breaking ball is a called strike, Iannetta doesn't like it. It's 0-2.
And Bill Miller behind the plate is a very good pitcher's umpire. That breaking ball a little off the inside corner. Vargas got the benefit of the call.
3 hits for Kansas City. The Angels still looking for their first base runner. 1-2.
Well, there's scouting reports for hitters, pitchers, defensive positioning, but you also, as a pitcher, you know which home plate umpire would be more apt to call low strikes, high strikes, more strikes in general as compared to hitters umpires.
And I'm sure that pitchers have a like a little book or scouting reports on each of the umpires.
Oh, yeah.
Down goes Iannetta. There's the first down. First punch out for Vargas.
Now you're looking at the papers wondering who's going to be the home plate umpire, even sometimes a series or two in advance when you're going to be on the mound. Another good changeup from Vargas off the plate. Swing and miss. Well off the plate. He just knows how to pitch.
Colin Cowgill to start tonight in left field. 0 for 4 so far this year. Colin invaluable last year to the Angels. And the unsung heroes. There's Matt Joyce, the other half of the platoon, along with C.J. Cron as far as that DH left field spot.
First pitch fastball, second pitch changeup. Usually at this spot, Vargas has two choices. One, that fastball up and in, or he'll throw his changeup a little bit further off the outside corner.
So his fourth 0-2 count. Back to the off-speed pitch.
And what we've seen from Vargas over the years, he's not afraid to go back-to-back changeups.
It'll flare out to shallow left. Escobar going out. Gordon coming in, and it falls in there for a base hit. Just beyond the reach of Alcides Escobar. And there's the first hit of the night for the Angels.
Escobar going back on that ball. Gordon playing a little bit deeper. Not many baseballs fall in front of Gordon all that often in left field. That was placed perfectly by Cowgill. Escobar going back, waiting to be called off. Knows he's not going to be. Tried to reach up, but couldn't make the play.
So Vargas will work from the stretch for the first time. He'll face Johnny Giavotella, the former Royal. Angels second baseman off to a nice little start, 4 for 9 as he looks at the strike.
And for a lefty, Vargas is susceptible to a stolen base. Allowed 14 stolen bases in 17 attempts. No pickoffs last year.
Vargas has faced 9 batters and he's had first pitch strikes on all of them. Breaking ball.
That's exactly what we're talking about with Hector. If you get ahead of the count 0-1, then you can expand the strike zone. Vargas so good getting that first pitch over for a strike and then throwing his changeup off the plate, getting some easy outs with it.
Kansas City with their run in the first inning. Double by Kane to single by Hosmer. Down low. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Usually a good hit and run count, 2-1 with 1 out, but with a lefty on the mound. Mike Scioscia doesn't necessarily like to try to do that too often. Well, like I said, Jason Vargas doesn't have a great pickoff move to first base.
Top of the order, and Cole Calhoun on deck. Old chopper to short. Escobar feeds Infante for one. The relay back down the time. Giavotella legs it out, keeps the inning alive, and he'll reach on the fielder's choice.
What a quick turn. Infante tried to get rid of it quickly. Good hard slide by Cowgill. Infante couldn't get quite as much as he wanted to on the baseball, but Giavotella runs well, prevents the double play. Quick hands, good turn. Giovitello was too quick.
So man on, 2 outs down. Here's Cole. Grounded out to short. His first time up. Cole swinging and missing on the breaking ball. Angels very good last year here at home at 52-29 on the season. Oh, misses down and away. Hector Santiago got the start tonight. Jared Weaver will go tomorrow. C.J. Wilson on Sunday afternoon. That's a rotation for the weekend.
Turner to start for Kansas City. He throws upper 90s.
Giovitello standing at first with 2 outs. Trout on deck. Beach balls hit the warning track down the right field line.
Good patience so far in this at-bat for Calhoun against Vargas. And you think right now, if you're Calhoun, you're just looking for something away now. And fastball was shown in at 89.
Two one on the way. Cole rips one out to the alley in right center field. Nobody's going to get this one. One hopper off the fence. Giovitello on his horse being waved in. The throw is not in time, and this game is tied at 1. Cole Calhoun with his first extra base hit and RBI of the season.
He looked away, got a breaking ball that was elevated enough to do some damage. Cole Calhoun, so important to the offense last year, comes through here with a double, 2-out double. Breaking ball, stayed on it well, and crushes it to right center field. And Giovitello going hard around second, picks up Gary DiSarcina, who's not going to hesitate, even though Mike Trout's coming to the plate, takes that chance and scores a tying run. Good swing by Cole.
Gotta feel good. 1 for 13 prior to that plate appearance. Knots this game up at 1. 2 outs here in the third. Trout up.
Boy, last at bat, he threw a lot of fastballs in against Trout.
Trout hit one sharply back up the middle that was snagged by Vargas. So Mike is 0 for 1. And with 2 outs, Cole able to get a big lead at second. Boy, had a pitch to Hammer there, fouls it back, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's time for a Coors Light cold, hard facts with Mike Trout at the plate. 99 career home runs, 102 career stolen bases in 497th game. Only player with 100 home runs plus 100 steals or more in first 500 games. The great Eric Davis. Man, did he have some quick hands. So all fastballs in against Trout. Kansas City did a good job in the postseason last year, staying inside on Trout. A lot of fastballs up and in. Regular season wise, Trout with great career numbers against Kansas City. Coming in this game, they 361 with 7 home runs, including that mammoth home run in Kansas City last year.
3 balls, 1 strike. Figure first base open, maybe not going to give in. Vargas doesn't seem like the type of guy that would care a whole lot about that.
He doesn't care. There's an open base. He doesn't care.
And there's ball 4. So the first free pass issued by the left-hander. Puts 2 on now for Albert.
All fastballs prior to that, and a changeup 3-1 to see if we can get Trout to be overly aggressive and expand the zone. Trout did a nice job of taking that pitch.
Albert popped out into foul territory. I mean, very nice play by Hosmer on the warning track. 0 for 1. Vargas got him on an off-speed pitch. Calhoun standing at second, Trout at first. Good speed. He's off the first one. Mentioned that second time through the order now.
And still that off day. Where's your timing off as a hitter?
Off day with off-speed stuff.
Exactly. That really throws your timing off.
Not the corner. Albert doesn't think so. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's still a good take by Pujols. That's a pitcher's pitch. It looked like it might have just been off the outside corner.
Fouled back to fastball.
Now he had a pitch to drive there. I'm just going to walk around and try to gather his thought because that was a pitch. And he likes to crush.
25 pitches thrown so far by Vargas this inning.
Good arms in the outfield. You see 26 pitches thrown by Vargas in the inning for Kansas City. If they're playing deep, a base hit in the outfield should score at least 1 run.
2-2 now. Called strike 3. Albert goes down looking and certainly doesn't like that call. Lets Bill Miller know about it. The Angels tied up on the Calhoun double. Head to the 4th. Tied at 1. Last strikeout of Albert Pujols, pitch anyway, not in the strike zone. Bill Miller, the home plate umpire, ringing it up.
Yeah, Salvador Perez does a good job of framing this pitch, but this pitch is not only low, it's off the inside corner. Pujols had a reason to be upset with Bill Miller, although we mentioned he's definitely one of those umpires that favors the pitcher, especially borderline pitches.
Gordon, Rios, Perez for Kansas City here in the fourth, and Alex Gordon looks at a strike. And you've seen that that look from hitters tonight on both sides, that they don't like a certain call. Gordon 0 for 1. He popped out to shallow left his first time up.
Again, you know that coming in. Bill Miller's been around for a long time. He's pretty consistent with the strike zone, albeit being a bigger strike zone.
He's consistent with his strike zone.
Exactly. The kind that pitchers
strike zone.
The pitchers like.
Yeah. Called strike 3. Down goes Gordon. There's out number 1. Third strikeout for Santiago.
Good fastball. Back-to-back strikeouts on fastballs. One to Morales, now to Gordon. He wanted that fastball inside, but that fastball ran across the plate. Did catch the outside corner, but another look back by a hitter.
Rios with a fly ball to left, his first time up. He starts with those hands low and then kind of gets them up. Or he got into that stretch for a while there where he was almost down by the belt area, keeping those hands down.
Well, you have to be super quick to be able to catch up to a fastball inside when you see that.
Yeah, or anything elevated to try to get on top of that baseball.
You're low and then bring the hands up, and then you're naturally going to bring them down as you start your swing.
Cal remains with a ball and 2 strikes.
Unless you miss location like Hector did. You could see Hector was upset with himself after he threw that pitch. Rios had a pretty good swing at that one. Iannetta wanted an elevated fastball up and in. Instead, out over the plate around belt high.
These two teams meet twice this year. This 3-game set, and then Angels go to Kansas City in August. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A nice chill in the air in Kansas City that time of year.
Oh, in August? Oh, yeah.
I think it's shorts and flip-flop for us, buddy.
Yeah. Sounds good.
On the pleather chairs. That's a start. Called strike 3. And Rios certainly doesn't like it. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts for Santiago.
On this pitch right now, there's no doubt this is a strike. Pitch before was a borderline pitch. This is right down the heart of the plate, knee high.
Here's the catcher, Perez. Fly ball to center field in the second. Tied at 1 here at the top of the 4th. And it is just outside. 3 hits for Kansas City, 2 for the Angels. The home opener. It's a quick homestand. 3 and out.
I think Kansas City opened up with 3. They're here for 3, and then they go to Minnesota.
Yeah,
for 3.
They get the 3 opener trifecta. Angels had that a couple of seasons ago at Cincinnati, Texas, and here. Skied out towards shallow center. Giovatello, the second baseman, is out there. And Hector with a 1-2-3 shutdown inning. Led to the bottom of the 4th, tied at 1. followed by a playoff rematch as the Royals take on the Angels. Coverage begins tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
They might still be playing their game. That game starts tomorrow in New York. Extra innings between the Red Sox and Yankees. Shocker. Cole Calhoun with the big double.
Tied at 1 as we begin the bottom of the 4th inning. Freeze Crone at Ibar for the Halos here. That's Jason Vargas. Vargas retired the first 7 he faced before giving up the flare base hit to Colin Cowgill in the 3rd. David, a ground ball to Moustakas at 3rd. His first time up.
Boy, Freeze got a lot of fastballs in Seattle here so far in this game. A lot of off speed away.
Back toward the middle, off the glove of Infante. And what should have been a sure one hopper for the first out. It's an error by the veteran, and the Angels have their leadoff man on.
Yeah, it was hit well by Freeze. It's almost as if he lost the baseball after the hop. Like he took his eye off the baseball. And just, he lost it. And that baseball on the one hop, whether it's on some shirts that were in that lower level, but he didn't see it. Tough play. Usually you see that in day games.
You know, he had the glove almost as if the ball was going to stay down on him. I don't know if he ever saw it.
No.
They're calling that a base hit. Must have lost it somewhere. David Freeze will take it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he hit that ball extremely well. But if you're a fielder with the glove right there, that's a play you usually always make.
Crono for 1 with a fly ball to left field.
Always a much better hitter with runners on. 322 last season. 197 with no one on. He had a pitch to drive there. A 1-0 fastball. He took it.
Inside. 2 balls and a strike. Good to see Crone get back to that swing he had in spring training.
And that's the exact thing that Don Baylor was trying to tell him the other day in Seattle. Don't force the issue. Just relax. Your hands were very relaxed at the plate all spring training long. Double after double. There were 11 doubles in spring training. Just trust your hands. Don't try to muscle up. Use the whole field.
Breaks his bat and lines on Moustakas with a diving catch for the first out.
That's a great play by Moustakas. You see that too often, a line drive where a third baseman, even though the bat was shattered, read that one well. Another nice play by Moustakas at third base. I think that big play for the Royals in the postseason last year when he went into the stands to catch a pop-up. Actually, they're making that a bobblehead. That play.
Genius. They should do more stuff like that.
Yeah.
Frey is over at first base. 1 out. Here's Ibar. Takes just outside for ball 1. Eric drove one out to the warning track in left center field his first time up. Ball had some carry to it. So now 3 for 11 to start the year. Moustakas playing in a little bit over at third base. Toward the line as well. It's popped up behind the plate. Playable for Perez as Ibar was out in front with that off-speed pitch. 2 down. Fans, the annual Angels 5K and Fun Run will take place tomorrow. Participants will run a course through Angel Stadium and receive a commemorative shirt and a finisher medal. Proceeds from the event will benefit the Angels Baseball Foundation. For more info to sign up, just visit angels.com/5K. So 2 outs. Freeze still at first base. And here's a Chris Hynette. Strikeout victim in the 3rd. One of 2 punch outs for Vargas. Good numbers in his career. Brief. Good numbers. 3 for 9.
Well, just like we saw Freeze getting a steady diet of fastballs in Seattle, Iannetta got a steady diet of breaking balls away. That breaking ball on the outer half of the plate. He's got to start utilizing that other part of the field, right center field.
And Perez back outside. One and two. And Vargas just going to live there.
If you have a hitter trying to pull the baseball, this fastball, curveball, changeups away, allowing the hitter to get himself out. Now, Chris Iannetta has shown in the past he hits the ball very well to right center field. He has to get back to that approach.
And again, stayed back outside with a changeup. Kansas City has 9-1-2 coming up in the 5th inning. Hector Santiago's retired the last 6 in a row. And that includes 4 strikeouts. And that was after the walk hit by pitch to start the 3rd inning, so he settled down a little bit.
Well, all 4 pitches by Vargas away here at this at bat. And back out away.
Pretty close. Full count with 2 outs. Freeze will take off on the next pitch. Cowgill on deck. Iannetta chases, and the Angels are done. 4 in the books, still tied at 1.
Enjoy better. Call 1-855-WANT-TWC. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers.
Top of the 5th inning here at the Big A. Tied at 1. Hector Santiago and Jason Vargas locked up in a pretty good pitcher's duel. Hector has found his groove. See if he can continue that here in the 5th inning. Infante, Escobar, and Moustakas. 75 pitches thrown by the Angels left-handed. This one's lifted in the air. Down the line, Giavotella cutting across, calls off Pujols. One down, one pitch, one away.
Real good communication also. Albert going for the ball, but Giavotella, a much easier play for a second baseman to make as compared to a first baseman going back on that ball. Able to make the play on that one pitch out.
One out, now City's Escobar coming up. Shortstop. 0 for 1 as he grounded out in the first one. Walked to lead off the third. Originally the Milwaukee Brewers system. He and Lorenzo Cain, part of the Zach Greinke trade. Kansas City to Milwaukee, or part of Greinke to Milwaukee. It's worked out well for Kansas City, that's for sure.
Extremely well.
Ball on a strike.
Bill Miller's hearing it from the Royals dugout. That high pitch.
It's got to be comforting knowing that it's game 4 of the season. As a home plate umpire, you're already getting chirped at by everybody. But at least it's equal opportunity chirping, though. You know?
Yeah.
From all sides.
Now swing along with Ned Yost. Change up, just touching the lower part of the strike zone. Even though that's a miss, I go there all day. If you have an umpire calling those pitches on the corner, sometimes a half a baseball or so off the outside corner or inside corner, that's what you have to do. Eventually hitters are going to be expanding their zone.
Just like that.
As a hitter, you have no choice. You don't want to be rung up. You want to at least make a pass at a baseball, even though it may not be a strike. You don't know if he's going to call it against you.
Another 2-2. A little bit high. Full count.
Third full count in this game for Hector.
Moustakas on deck. Here's the 3-2. Wanted to expand the zone again. A free swinger is what Escobar is easily described as. On-base percentage in his career, 300. This is driven to right. Good piece of hitting there. Didn't try to pull that one. And it's a one-out single. Puts a man on for Moustakas. Fans of Halos host the Royals Sunday at 12:35, and fans in attendance will receive an Angels wall calendar courtesy of U.S. Bank while supplies last. Purchase your tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office or online at angels.com. Moustakas popped out of the first, hit by a pitch in the third.
Again, with that speed at first base, to focus away from the hitter, more so to the base runner. Hector with 6 pickoffs last year.
That almost hit him. 1 ball, no strikes. Stretching going on in the Angels pen.
And pitch count getting up. Still first start of the season for Santiago, and that's a good visit for Iannetta. Getting back, that was a fastball that was supposed to be away. It missed off in.
And a lot of that a byproduct of worrying about the base runner at first base.
know as a pitcher, base runners, good base runners can be distracting, especially in an aggressive club like Kansas City, but your mind should always be mindset on the hitter. Just give your catcher an opportunity, hold the ball, and then go home.
Two balls, one strike. Moustakas the season ago hit just 172 against left-handed pitching. Good hitters count here. Lorenzo Cain on deck. They'll check in on Escobar once again. Benny Pastano, the right-hander. Jose Alvarez, the lefty. Two on. A little dribbler toward Pujols. Thought about going to second. Santiago is there, two down.
Pitching that baseball with the bare hand. It's something you generally want to do if you're a youngster at home, your pitcher covering the base. Albert thought about going to second, but a wise decision. That would have been a tough throw. Good flip by Albert. And sometimes you don't have quite the coverage on the hand as compared to the glove on the flip. And this conversation is all going to be about not only giving the guys in the bullpen an opportunity to be ready, but also right-handed batter up at the plate, left-handed batter on deck in Hosmer. Although both have had a couple pretty good swings early against Santiago.
Bill Miller out to break up the rock pile. Looks like they're going to pitch to him, or at least try to see if they'll expand his zone here. Cain, a double and a run scored in the first inning, struck out in the third, so that's a 1-for-2 game. Little looper out towards center. It'll fall in for a hit. Kansas City retakes the lead. Cain picks up his second hit of the night. Another two-out hit allowed by Santiago.
Look like a cutter or slider. Jammed them slightly. Flared it over the head of Giabatella in for an RBI single. His fifth RBI this year already.
2-1 Kansas City. Here's Eric Hosmer. Your preference would have been face Hosmer?
Yeah, I think he's going to be aggressive, Cain, there. So I'm throwing pitches out of the strike zone. You don't necessarily have to walk him. I think he's going to be swinging the pitches. He wants to be the guy that's driving a run. So when you have hitters up there, especially that are hot early in the season, they don't necessarily want to walk. So you use that against them by making pitches slightly out of the strike zone.
Oh, 1 count on the Royals first baseman who singled home a run, picked up his 5th RBI of the season in the first. Grounded out to Ibar in the third.
90 pitches thrown so far. Had a tough inning, first inning as far as pitches. 23, also 21 in the third.
That is ripped out to right. It's going to hang up for Calhoun. Turning over, but Kansas City retakes the lead on a couple of hits. And at the bottom of the 5th, 2-1 Royals. Transmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Los Angeles Angels. Halos down by the score of 2-1 as we begin the bottom of the 5th inning. Let me scoot over here into the camera shot. Yeah, Jason Vargas done a pretty good job. Hector Santiago, a mixed bag, if you will. A lot of pitches, unfortunately for him, in just 5 innings.
Yeah, it's going to look good as far as the results. 5 innings is 2 earned runs allowed, but for Hector, that high pitch count again, and we talked about it in the pregame show. Solid effort, but if you want to win games on a consistent basis at the major league level, you have to get into that 7th and 8th inning. His stuff was good enough, but his secondary pitch is not as consistent as he wanted today as far as throwing it for strikes.
Ball on a strike on Colin Cowgill. 8-9-1 for the Angels. Givitel on deck, then followed by Cole Calhoun. 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 hits allowed for Vargas. Two and 1. This is pop foul and out of play on the first base side. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boy, Oakland crushing Seattle at the Coliseum, 11-0.
That was Walker on the mound for Seattle, who I think gave up maybe 1 earned run the entire spring. Gave up 9 tonight. So you need to have one of those games in spring to get that out of the way where you give up a lot of runs.
Yeah.
They don't count on the bubblegum card.
This one's fouled back. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. That game's in the bottom of the 5th inning. Toronto swinging the bats well again. They put a hurt on the Baltimore Orioles. This one flared foul.
Well, that's pitching right there by Vargas. Change up away, off the plate. Nice job by Cowgill just staying alive in his at bat, hoping to get a mistake from Vargas.
Just the 73rd pitch thrown by Vargas tonight.
Fastball in. Cowgill had a pretty good hack at it. 43 strikes and 73 pitches thrown for Vargas.
Good battle here between Cowgill and Vargas.
You know, after the game, the hitters for the Angels will be saying they were comfortable at the plate, some comfortable at bats against Jason Vargas, but the results are there for Jason as far as changing speeds and staying out of the middle of the plate.
Little flare out to shallow left. Escobar again going out this time. Is there, makes the catch. 1 out. That's how Cowgill's fly ball fell in for a base hit in the 3rd inning. This one hung up a little bit more so. So 1 out, nobody on it. Johnny Giavitelli coming up. He's 0 for 1. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd.
6 fly ball outs for Vargas tonight.
Giavitelli, a former 2nd-round pick by Kansas City at the University of New Orleans. Ball on 1 strike. Giavitelli scored from first on the double by Calhoun in the 3rd inning.
Giancarlo does have some power, especially if you try to sneak a fastball in, and these might be one of those counts, especially with Calhoun and then Trout following him on deck, that he might be willing to throw a fastball to Giancarlo.
3-1.
Threw it, but stayed away.
Perez back outside. That's a strike. Full count.
We looked for patterns last time on a 3-2 count against Iannetta. Similar, we threw a fastball away, followed up with a changeup out of the strike zone.
Little chopper to third. Moustakis near the bag has it. 2 down.
Now let's check the AT&T Uverse Rewind. Last at bat for Cole Calhoun with Giancarlo at first base. He's looking away, got a breaking ball, elevated. Crushes it right center field for his first extra base hit and RBI of the season by Cole Calhoun, trying to get locked in.
.31 doubles a season ago. Picked up his first in the 3rd inning.
Well, he tied him up with a fastball inside on that one as he's looking away.
And it looked like he was looking fastball. It was just a perfect location underneath the hands.
Came right back in with another fastball. That's the thing about Vargas. He pitches in very well. It's not overpowering, 88, 89 with his fastball, but he will pitch inside to lefties and righties. Best fastball today, 91 mile an hour fastball. Slowest curveball, 75.
2 balls and 1 strike. Gibby, it's the home opener, and the light wave is back here at the Big A.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It is back.
2 outs here in the 5th. Yet another pitch on the inside part of the plate to even the count. You figured out your phone, be able to get your light to strobe like that?
The old saying, I'm getting close. I'm close to figuring it out.
Or do you only use a strobe light when you're singing in the mirror?
Or trying to read a menu at a restaurant.
Well, that's for sure. Chopper to Hosmer. Angels go down quietly here. A 1-2-3 shutdown inning for Vargas. We'll head to the 6th. Kansas City leads at 2-1.
Jr. Sports update around the majors. The rivalry renewed in the Bronx, and they like it so much they're still playing 3-3 in the top of the 14th. And Vargas, one of 4 ex-Angels, starting on the mound tonight. John Lackey went 6 innings, gave up 4 earned runs, got a no decision. Jerome Williams pitched very well for the Phillies, went 6 innings, 1 run, got the W. And Dan Herron was solid, 6 innings, 1 earned run, but got a no decision. Miami had an 8-1 lead in that game, ended up giving up the lead, but eventually won that game 10-9 in 10 innings.
The battle of the Sunshine State. You can almost feel the intensity of that rivalry. Rays and the Marlins.
And the Marlins picked up their first win of the year.
Yeah, they got swept by the Atlanta Braves. Heads up or down, 1-2.
Same thing with Minnesota and Chicago, both coming into their game against each other tonight with no wins, but Minnesota beat the White Sox.
The White Sox winless to start the year.
A lot of people, a lot of those talking heads saying they're a team to beat as far as winning the AL Central.
1-2, way outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 95th pitch of the night for Hector Santiago, facing Morales, Gordon, and Rios for Kansas City here in the 6th inning. Costano's ready to go on the bullpen. And Kendricks gets into one out to left field. Calgill's going to pull up, and it's 3-1 Kansas City. Drives one out on a 2-2 fastball, and it's Morales' first of the year.
3rd extra base hit of the season for Morales. The ball went a long way and got out quickly.
And that goes back to getting ahead and unable to throw an off-speed pitch. In for Chase.
That's a changeup.
Changeup.
A lot of the plate. You can see the reaction by Chris Iannetta. He wants that changeup off the plate and down.
Three 3-1 Royals here in the 6th. And here's Alex Gordon. Hector's last batter, I would assume. Costano ready to go, and you got a righty on deck. And Perez behind him as a right-hander. One. Foul back. Gordon, left fielder 0 for 2. Pop up and a strikeout. Racing for this one, lifts one out to 7. Trout comes in. 1 down. There comes Mike Scioscia. And Hector Santiago's night will come to an end after his 100th pitch of the night, as Vinny Pastano will be summoned from the bullpen. Pitching change with the Angels down 3-1. EPA estimate 31 highway miles per gallon. Visit Jeep.com for more information. And by AT&T Uverse. More live TV channels on the go than cable. Kansas City leads at 3-1 here in the top of the 6th inning. They've just chased Hector Santiago, allowed 6 hits, 1 home run. And that was to Kendrys Morales. Vinny Pistano comes into the ballgame. The right-hander will face Alex Rios with 1 out here in the 6th. Pistano, 30 years of age, at a Canyon High School in Cal State Fullerton. Signed with the Angels last year, pitched 12 games, no record at .93 ERA. So in and out. Who's in, who's out?
He's got a good sweeping slider. Fastball command solid also. Strikeout machine when he's on a roll. 26 of them in 18 2/3 last season. Throughout his career has been a very good strikeout pitcher.
Rios 0 for 2. The fly ball to left and a strikeout looking. Swings first pitch, comes up empty. Pistano last year made 25 big league appearances between the Indians and the Angels. One ball, 2 strikes. Then he got to the big leagues for the first time in 2010, pitching in 5 games for Cleveland. And he had back-to-back seasons, which he threw 67 and 70 games. This one's sky to left, and it's playable for Calgill. 2 outs. Pistano proved to be a nice little asset in the bullpen, but going into spring training, you never really heard his name mentioned as far as the bullpen regulars, the guys that you thought were going to break camp with the team. Eventually pitched his way on.
They just talking to Mike Socha and Mike Butcher about him. They just felt real comfortable him being part of this bullpen. A very good, deep bullpen.
Slider in for a strike. Perez 0 for 2 with a couple of fly balls to Trout. 3-1 Royals. Halos in the bottom of the inning have Trout, Pujols, and Freese coming up, trying to figure out Jason Vargas. Fastball out to right, playable for Cole. And Pistano gets the job done. But Kansas City tacks on the run on Kendry Morales' first home run of the season. Right to the bottom of the 6th inning, Mike Trout looking to get the Angels going, down 3-1. Sixth inning. Mike Trout ready to lead things off, followed by Albert Pujols and David Freese here for the Angels. Down 3-1. Vargas 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. He's allowed 3 hits. More like 2.5. The one that David Freese got credited with. Probably an error.
Hit well.
Yeah, hit well. First pitch is in for a strike. Halos have stranded 3 base runners. Kansas City has left 5 on board. Vargas just threw his 87th pitch. Here comes the 88th. Up and in.
A lot of fastballs in tonight by Vargas against Trout.
This one pulled him. Moustakas smothers it at third, falls down from his knees, rolls one to first base. And it'll go, I would imagine, as an infield base hit. Boy, lost his footing, tried to get up. The feet kind of slid from out underneath him and couldn't get anything on the throw.
Yeah, he showed some pretty good range. That ball was hit very well by Trout. Dives over, tries to get up quickly, knowing you have to get up quickly with Trout running down the line. See, that's the thing. Speed of a base runner going down the line dictates how quick you have to try to get up as an infielder. The slower runner running down the line of that, Moustakas may be able to gather himself up and then make the throw. Instead, try to be too quick, unable to make the play.
And he's got one heck of an arm, too, so it would have been interesting, to say the least, if he comes up with it cleanly from his knees. Pujols ahead of the count of 1 ball, no strikes. 0 for 2. Popped out in the first inning in foul territory. Struck out looking on a questionable third strike in the third. Ground ball towards short. Escobar to Infante on the Hosmer. 2 down. So base is clear now, and it's David Freese coming up. Jason Frazier getting ready.
This is when you run into that real strong part of the Royals team, the bullpen.
Freese 1 for 2 with that base hit in the 4th. Fouls this one off.
Really, the only base hit of the 4 that was squared up really was Cole Calhoun's. As far as could have been a couple plays made. One that by Trout there and by Freese too, with Infante, and then the flare by Calgill. So Vargas is throwing the ball exceptionally well tonight, as he usually does here at the Big A.
Yeah. Coming into tonight, 9-3 with a 2.86 ERA here in this ballpark. Three balls and a strike. Crone on deck. Kansas City with solo runs in the 1st, 5th, and 6th innings. The Angels' only run coming back in the 3rd. Skied out to deep left center field. Lorenzo Cain going back at the wall, leaps up, gone. A big fly for David Freese. 2nd of the year, and the Angels' deficit is cut to 1. You just never know with Lorenzo Cain going back to the wall all of a sudden.
You got to make sure you see some bounce of the baseball over the wall. But what a swing by Freese. That's what you want to see from David Freese. Hitting that number 4 spot. You got a fastball count. Let it out. Do some damage. And he got a fastball that was down inner half. And he crushed that ball to dead center field. Just too far over the fence for Cain to catch it.
Crone takes that one down low, and it goes through the wickets, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Multi-hit game for Freese, 1st of the year.
Well, he hit the ball so well in spring. Middle part of the field, he's even turned on some pitches.
Crone pops this one up. Lazy pop up into foul territory, and Hosmer makes the catch. So Crone 0 for 3 on the night. The Angels do get a run on David Freese's 2nd home run of the season. We're through 6 here at the Big A. Kansas City on top 3-2. On a mission to save you money. Log on to MercuryInsurance.com to get a fast, free quote and see how much you can save. And buy Hyundai. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. Top of the 7th here at the Big A. Kansas City on top 3-2. Game 1 of his 3-game series. David Freese with a couple of hits, including a home run. Royals setting up 9, 1 and 2. Infante, Escobar, Moustakas. It's Pistano still on the mound. First pitch in for a strike. Jose Alvarez still loosening for the Angels in the bullpen. Infante's 0 for 2. A line out to second and a pop up to second. 33-year-old native of Venezuela. Been around a while. Infante last year, 252 for Kansas City.
He's always had a pretty patient eye at the plate. Very difficult to strike out.
2 balls and 1 strike. He had a big home run against the Angels last year, right? In Kansas City. Grand slam, maybe? That sound right?
Yeah, I think he did. He turned on a pitch on the inner half.
Yeah.
Up and in.
This one's out toward left, off the end of the bat. Calgill comes racing in. He'll put it away for the first out.
Shortstop, number 2, Alcides Escobar.
Bring up Alcides Escobar as the Angels get a right-hander up with Jose Alvarez. Mike Morin is up now. Kansas native. 0-1 count. Escobar 1 for 2. A single, a walk, and a ground out. His first cousin, former Angel, Kelvin Escobar.
A solid career himself on the mound.
Still doing the singing thing down in Venezuela?
I don't know about that, but
those music videos?
Yeah, yeah.
They're solid. One way to describe it.
Good guy.
Yeah. Ground ball to second. Good breaking ball for Pistano. 2 outs. You can follow the Angels all season long with MLB.com at bat. At bat is the up to the moment. At any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, radio broadcasts, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet today.
And more.
And more. Time is called. The beach ball is landed on the warning track in right center. Mike Trout this time doing the honors. Moustakas 0 for 2, hit by a pitch in the third inning.
Well, with the shift on, he did that quite a bit in spring training as far as that push bunt down the third baseline.
One ball, one strike. Jason Frazier still warming for Kansas City. Ibar, Ionnet, and Cowgill, so maybe it's a one batter thing for Vargas to go out of the bottom of the seventh and to keep Ibar on the right side. Moustakas pulls out with foul. One ball, two strikes.
Now moving away from the shift with two strikes. That's one thing about Mike Socio as far as all the reads he has about the shift being on certain counts. They will move the infielders back to more traditional, although Ibar's right behind second base right now. Just knowing the hitter's tendency when they're ahead of the count, more have to pull something more so than behind in the count.
Moustakas hit his first major league home run here in this ballpark, his third plate appearance in the big leagues, and that was off Irvin Santana. 1-2. Breaking ball, and he lines this one off the glove of Freese and into left field. He stayed back just enough on that slow breaking ball, and it's a two-out base hit.
And that's what he's been trying to do this season, is try to stay back and hit the ball the other way. In the past, he's tried to pull that ball. Hit that ball pretty well over the glove of David Freese.
That's 5 two-out hits for Kansas City. 5 of the 7 hits they picked up tonight have come with 2 outs. And now Lorenzo Cain at the plate. He's had a multi-hit game with a double and a single. Picked up an RBI, and he's also scored a run. Oh, 1 count. You see Cain's reaction after that called strike.
High strike, but did catch the strike zone.
A ball and a strike. Halos in the bottom of the 7th, and Ibar, Ionnet, and Cowgill 6, 7, and 8. 2-1. Both Morin and Alvarez ready to go in the bullpen for Mike Socia if need be. A real long look in for Pistano. Cain got tired of waiting.
Cain has been hot already this year. Very solid season last year. Finally healthy last season. He's always had the talent. He's trying to stay healthy. Let's see if Vinny Pistano can throw that hard slider off the plate down and away now. The fastball away. 23 pitches thrown by Vinny. 17 strikes.
Throws it away, and Moustakas will head to second. Again, the whole really concerning yourself with a base runner at first. And I know a lot of those things come from the dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Now you just put a man in scoring position.
Especially when you have 2 strikes, you have a hitter set up exactly for your hard slider away, which is Vinny Pastano's out pitch. Almost looked like it fooled Albert too, that he didn't anticipate the throw over. And the throw right at the runner, Moustakas diving back.
Sorry, Mark. Think about it. Though. Who cares if he goes on a 2-2 count with 2 outs? Flare now, and all of a sudden you've given back that run.
Yeah, I've always been a believer of that. Especially when you have 2 strikes on a hitter, just go after the hitter. You're focused strictly on that hitter.
2-2. Just lifted Fountain out of play. And again, a lot of those calls come from the dugout. It's not the pitcher themselves making the decision, although sometimes it happens.
This is a big run you want to try to prevent, keep this a 1-run deficit, especially with that bullpen of Kansas City.
Big lead for Moustakas. Kane fouls this one back. Hosmer on deck. 25 pitches thrown by Vinny. He's trying to finish off this 7th inning. Another 2-out base hit to Moustakas. Throwing error by Pastano, advancing Moustakas to second. First error for the Angels to shoot. Full count.
Steady diet of high fastballs since that 2-2 count. Couple fouled away, that one out of the strike zone. Scouting report for the Angels against Kane. Try to get him to swing at a high fastball. He's always been a guy that will chase a hard slider off the plate also.
3-2, got him with a fastball. Down goes Kane. And the Royals are done here in the top of the 7th. 7th inning stretch time here at the Big A. The Halos with 6, 7, and 8 coming up, down 3-2 as we turn things over for God Bless America.
And remove your caps. Joining us on the dugout tops behind home plate, tonight's pregame flyover ground crew and flight personnel from March Air Force Base. And now, prior to singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, please join Lorelei Cinco in singing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Seventh inning. New pitcher on for the Royals as Jason Vargas is done after 6 solid innings. It is Jason Frazier taking over on the mound.
Frazier's fastball, not necessarily overpowering, but spots it well. 90 to 94 slider, split finger fastball. Though he's thrown more sliders of late than split finger fastball. It used to be just the opposite before.
Here's Ibar. First pitch fastball in for a strike. Eric's 0 for 2 with a fly ball to center to Papa. No balls, 2 strikes. Frazier last year acquired from the Texas Rangers. Ended up pitching in 23 games for Kansas City. Had himself a 1.53 ERA. Was a free agent, re-signed. 1-year deal. 10 years of big league service. Originated with the Toronto Blue Jays in 2004.
I like how when he delivers the baseball, he's already had the baseball out of his glove. Been very durable throughout his career.
This is grounded over to second, and Fonte has it. 1 away.
Monday key to this game tonight. Time of our lives. Home opener, a lot of energy, and the Angels last season alone 45 comeback victories, which led the majors in that category. Looking to that same type of magic this season in 2015.
All right, Netta thankful that Jason Vargas is out of this ballgame. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Vargas ended up working 6 innings, 5 hits, including the home run to Freeze. 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 runs, both earned.
Again, another breaking ball away, 2 already in this at bat. Saw a lot of them up in Seattle. Vargas, same thing, a lot of changeups and breaking balls away.
And it seems like he's kind of just feeling for the baseball a little bit, reaching on the pitches away as opposed to just driving it out to the alley right center. He's got good power the opposite way.
Real good power to right center. But not when you're trying to pull the baseball. Maybe just get a mistake here.
Two balls and 1 strike. Cowgill on deck.
Also have Matt Joyce in that dugout still.
Yeah, but I think Ed Joyce trying to counter that. There's Matt. And Franklin Morales getting ready to pen. The left-hander. Ninetta chasing a high fastball. There's a 2-2. Boy, Chris just completely fooled tonight. 3 strikeouts. That's the second out here in the 7th.
Another breaking ball. That's it. Split finger fastball. All speed out of the strike zone.
Well, Joyce has come out to the on deck circle. He'll be announced here. That's why Perez went out to the mound.
It's the pitching coach, though.
Yeah, Dave Island. Morales ready to go in the pen. Now, Frazier's been around a long time. I mean, he's had lefties and righties out throughout his career. Calgill finishes the night going 1 for 2. Matt Joyce called upon here, the Florida native. In the offseason trade with the Tampa Bay Rays. He and Cesar Ramos coming over for Kevin Jepsen.
You see the shift put on in the infield in Kansas City against Joyce. Starting him off with a backdoor slider.
This one's pulled over the head of Hosmer. That's a fair ball. Joyce will round first, head to second, and he is in there with a 2-out double. Well, that was as perfectly placed as possible.
Yeah, you can't hit a baseball any better down the line. Over Hosmer and right down the line and on that chalk. And aggressively getting into second base scoring position for Giavotella. And you wonder with the lefty up in the bullpen, Ned Yost decide to stay with Frazier.
Second hit for Joyce as an Angel. First extra base hit. And here's Johnny Giavotella, the second baseman. Reached on the fielder's choice and scored a run in the third. Grounded out in the fifth. 3-2 Kansas City here in the bottom of the seventh.
Well, that high strike has been called a lot tonight, or sometimes even out of the high strike zone.
Yeah, a lot of guys tonight have been upset with Bill Miller's strike zone. Position players, anyway.
And the outfield playing pretty shallow for Kansas City, all with very good plus throwing arms. And important for Matt Joyce that Giavotella get a base hit into the outfield to get that good secondary lead and get a good jump to be able to tie the game up.
And all playing shallow as well. The stock is toward the line. Big hole on the left side of the infield. 1-1 pitch. Check swing roller, and that is foul.
The one thing Matt Joyce has going for him is because of the way the infield's set up, both infielders, middle infielders playing in the hole, that he can take a bigger lead at second. Fonte away from the base, Escobar the same thing at short. Especially now that as a hitter you're in protect mode, a little flare into the outfield with a good jump should tie the game.
Halos are only 0 for 1. They've only had one opportunity with a man in scoring position tonight. And that's when Pujols struck out looking down to third. Runners at first and second. That puts the Angels 2 for 16 to start the season with men in scoring position. And a fastball there.
And he's on that one.
Yeah, fouled it back.
Surprised he went with a fastball against him. Good swing by Giavotella. Straight back.
Top of the order, and Cole Calhoun on deck. Matt Joyce with a 2-out double, standing in scoring position. Giavotella fouls it off to the right.
Right before the game, Giavotella got his World Series ring that the Royals got. Now he'd like an opportunity to be able to tie the game up against his former team right here.
The runner-up ring.
Yes.
The American League Championship ring. One, two on the way. Check swing. They want an appeal. And he went around. Doug Innings rings up Giavatella. The Angels are done here the 7th. We'll head to the 8th. Kansas City still leads it. Top of the 8th inning here at the Big A. The Halos down 3-2 as Mike Scioscia's gone to the bullpen and brought in left-hander Jose Alvarez. With a couple of left-handers coming up in this part of the order for Kansas City. Hosmer, Morales, and Gordon to be exact. Morales a switch hitter. It'll be Alvarez, the 25-year-old Venezuelan, coming in to face those guys. Second appearance of the year. His first one was just a situational appearance, and it worked out in his favor. Picked up in a trade last spring training for Andrew Romine from the Detroit Tigers. And did not pitch a whole lot last year. Total of 9 games in the minors and the big leagues due to an elbow strain. Hosmer looks at a breaking ball for a strike, but Jose did have a nice spring training, and that's why he's part of this 25-man roster.
Good feel for all his pitches, was aggressive with his fastball. Low 90s, 90-94 range, but good sweeping slider.
Jammed and Freeze to his left, has it, gets up, fires the first, low throw. Albert has it, and there's out number 1.
Real good play by David Freeze. Saw him with the bat early in the game, playing away from that third base position, a shortstop position. Slides, the low throw, but Albert Pujols has been very good at first base. Gets that all-important first out here of the 8th inning. Solid play by Freeze, down to the knee, spins around, and would gather himself and throw out. Hosmer.
Morales fouls it off.
And now it's time for In the Driver's Seat, brought to you by Kia. Kendrys Morales, last at bat, had a pitch to drive, solo home run in the 6th inning. At that point, giving Kansas City a 3-1 lead. Had a career high 34 home runs for the Halos back in 2009.
Kendricks hit his first home run of the year in the 6th inning of Hector Santiago. Difference in the game right now. 2-hit game for Morales. Slow roller. David Freese comes in. Bear has it. Throws out Kendricks. 2 down.
Nice play by Freese, but even better a pitch by Alvarez. That changeup down out of the strike zone. Got Morales out in front. A slow roller, but a nice play by Freese defensively. And then with the bare hand playing back because of Morales' power. Came in. Nice throw over to Pujols to get the second out. Has improved each year defensively.
Gordon gets hit here. Another 2-out base runner for the Royals.
And of course, Mike Scioscia looks like he is going to go to the bullpen now.
It forces him to go to the bullpen here. So with 2 outs, a pitching change in the 8th. Kansas City still up 3-2. Alex Rios, Morin seeing action for the second time this year. On 2/3 of an inning, allowed a hit. Had 1 strikeout in his first appearance. That was against Seattle. Very good numbers in his rookie campaign last year.
He has a plus changeup like Morin. Also will throw his fastball 90 to 94 range. Very good slider, but his changeup, he throws a different one to right-handed batters as compared to left-handed batters. Both very good. Right around 72 to 75 miles an hour on his changeup.
Gordon hit by a pitch, stands at first base, and Alex Rios, the right fielder, will step in. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of fly balls to left and a strikeout.
Gordon certainly a guy that will run also.
Good lead for Gordon at first base. Morin's first one's up and in, off speed. Kansas City has Kelvin Herrera getting ready in their bullpen. Their 8th inning guy. The Angels have the top of their order coming up at the bottom of the 8th. Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols. Greg Holland, the closer for the Royals. One ball, one strike. Three runs, 7 hits, no errors, and 6 left on for Kansas City. 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, 4 left on for the Angels. More in the third reliever used by Mike Scioscia. Hector Santiago in 5 1/3. Benny Pistano an inning and 2/3. Jose Alvarez 2/3 of an inning. One. Speed down and away. Turning into a cool night here. But, good crowd, 44,489, a sellout.
A quick move, almost on him leaning. Action count with 2-1 count. Gordon definitely leaning. Quick move by Morin. Gordon able to get his hand back.
And another throw that gets away here. That will allow Gordon to take second.
He might even going again, but that low throw right into the runner diving back. Second pickoff attempt that got away. 2 errors on the pitchers tonight. One on Pistano now, that one on Morin.
Two one count. Man in scoring position now. 3-1. Salvador Perez on deck. Ground ball to short. Sharply hit. Ibar has it. Went to the bottom of the 8th. The Angels with Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols coming up. Down by a run. Kelvin Herrera takes over on the mound for the Royals. And This was the part of the Royals game last year that really got them over the hump. Short games up, used the bullpen. Herrera to Holland was as good as an 8th, 9th inning tandem as there was. Wade Davis, of course, in that mix as well. 70 games last year for the right-hander, 4-3, and a 1.41 ERA.
Yeah, he just has that power stuff. Fastball rushing up there anywhere between 96 and 99. Very good split. Also has a good slider also.
Second time in his career that he's touched at least 70 games at the major league level. He did pitch in 76 games back in 2012 with the Royals. Native of the Dominican Republic, just 25 years of age, and pretty much the closer in waiting. Facing Cole Calhoun, and the first one's outside. Cole tonight 1 for 3, an RBI double in the third. Stock is playing in over at third base. Cole cuts through the fastball at 94. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Two balls and a strike. Herrera last year 11 appearances in the postseason for Kansas City, 1-0 and a 1.80 ERA. As a matter of fact, he allowed a run against Oakland in the wild card game, and then went 8 straight scoreless appearances after that. 2-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wants to do baseball.
All those power arms, and it was so important for them last year.
That's always the tricky part with Major League teams, bullpens repeating what they did. Now, power arms usually can be successful doing that. We'll see how it plays out for Kansas City this season. As Cole goes down swinging, 1 out. High fastball. And here comes Trout.
And that fastball upstairs at 98 looks good as a hitter, but very difficult to catch up, especially at that level, at letter high.
And you can't take much of a chance considering how the strike zone's been called tonight.
Trout a couple of years ago against Herrera, hit a home run back on May 15th, 2013. He's providing a lot of the power. You just have to square up the baseball, and it'll go a long way.
It was a 94 with Calhoun, and that first fastball to Trout at 98. 1 for 2. That's what Trout has done so far tonight. A base hit, infield single, and a walk. Another fastball on the inside part of the plate, and it's 0-2. Oh, the Trout net made an appearance. It was inevitable.
Yes.
That thing's bigger than her.
And you wonder if Herrera's going to try to go upstairs with a fastball. That's exactly what Kansas City did last year against Trout.
Looks like he tried to quick pitch him. Pretty good at quick pitch at 97. You had that, right? You used to do that on occasion.
If I was throwing 97, 98, I would even tell him I'm throwing a fastball. His average speed's 99, 94. Let's get over 94-mile-an-hour fastball. And again, as a hitter, you like the fastball. Doesn't matter how firm it is. If it's not located well, just get the good part of the bat on it, and it can go a long way.
Foul back. Pujols on deck. Another 1-2. This is line out to right field. It's a base hit. So Trout is on board. Second hit of the night. And it'll bring up Albert.
That's a good at bat for Trout. Nice job. When you get 2 strikes on it, shorten up enough. Base hit. Now the threat of a stolen base for Mike Trout at first base. It's a pretty good pitch. Down. On the inner half of the plate, his danger zone. Mike Trout covers everything down and in.
And the thing about that plate appearance there is thinking I'm going the other way. If they're going to pitch me in, I'm going to try to go the other way, because at 94 and that ball bearing down on you, you try to pull that ball. As good as Trout has been, it's still a tough pitch to pull, to square up, to get that barrel on the baseball.
Exactly. You're just trying to hit the ball that way.
Albert looks at the strike. Pujols 0 for 3. Last time up, rolled into a double play.
Rio's playing extremely deep in right. Gordon playing deeper than normal in left.
Off-speed pitch. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Almost looked like he slowed the delivery a little bit on that pitch.
This changeup is very solid, but still a work in progress. At times he tries to guide that in and make it a perfect pitch instead of at 86, because you're geared up to a fastball. If you locate it well, it's going to do its work anyhow.
There's the off-speed pitch. And it's 1-2.
And you can see the frustration from Pujols, thinking back-to-back changeups. Surprised him.
Trout over at first base. Fouled off to the right.
See, Albert's approach is trying to go the other way at this point.
Trout represents the tying run at first base. 3-2 Kansas City here at the bottom of the 8th. Broken bat roller to third. Moustakas has no play at second. Pujols retired for the second out of the inning.
Boy, he was jammed on that fastball. A 2-seam fastball right on the handle of the bat. You can see even how his ankle has turned on that, trying to get the bat head out on the fastball that firm. Fortunate enough with Trout's speed, it didn't allow Moustakas to throw the ball to second. Otherwise, that's going to be an easy double play ball, because it took Albert a while to get out of the batter's box and jam like that. Well, Freese has been big all spring, and so far this season has squared up some pretty good baseballs. Here's a time for him to get one going right now and hit one well.
He's 2 for 3 tonight with a single and a home run. And he'll look at a strike, an off-speed pitch. Trout with 2 outs, able to get a big lead at second base. Oh, 2 count.
Pretty good numbers, 3 for 5. And just looking to try to shorten up his swing. Pretty good take on a changeup.
One, 2 on the way. Foul back. Let's go back to the 6th inning. The home run that he hit. Vargas.
It's a long way to center field. Second home run of the season. David Freese to go on with a double so far, so 3 extra base hits already in the season for Freese. Now he'll just take a little flare into the outfield for a base hit.
Trout standing at second, representing that tying run. 2 outs here in the 8th. Triple digits there.
Wonderful, followed up with his changeup now.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Off speed, hit the short. Escobar, a little bit of a bobble. Throws the throw, and it's dug out by Eric Hosmer. Nice play by the Royals first baseman, and the Angels lead the tying run in scoring position. We head to the 9th. Kansas City still on top. April makes you jump out of your seat, paint your face, or high five complete strangers. We know how you feel. Show us how big a fan you really are using the hashtag April Made Me Do It. Fernando Salas comes into the ballgame here in the 9th. The Halos down by a run. It's 3-2. Home opener for 2015. Salas to face 8-9-1 here for Kansas City. That's Perez, Infante, and Escobar. 57 games a season ago. Second relief outing of the season.
Very solid last year, 57 games, 3.38 ERA. Fastball command to get ahead of the count with his fastball, important for Fernando because he's got a good slider, solid changeup also.
Perez, the catcher, is 0 for 3. 3 fly ball outs to the outfield. And the Royals have Wade Davis getting ready, not Greg Holland. Holland picked up the save yesterday. Their win. Chopper back up the middle, and it's a leadoff single. Bring up Omar Infante. Stick around after the last out. Angels Live postgame presented by your Mazda dealers. Patrick O'Neill, Jose Mota, Tim Salmon, Alex Curry. We'll break this one all down for you. Angels have had some opportunities, and just not capitalized. They'll have their hands full with Davis in the 9th. If Infante's going to square around here, doesn't, and he'll look at a strike.
Wade Davis has definitely adjusted to that bullpen role. He was pretty good that one year down in Tampa. He had been a starter. But really has adjusted well to the bullpen for Kansas City.
Did not go. 1 ball, 1 strike. The game in New York is on to the 17th. Boston got a home run from David Ortiz to take a 4-3 lead, and then the Yankees tied it up in the bottom of the 16th.
There's a text message to Shara.
One. 2 balls and a strike. Yankees and the Red Sox have the early game tomorrow on FS1. A couple hours
What
from
about,
now.
yeah, I was going to say about 10 minutes from now.
Hang with them. Ground ball through the left side on an off-speed pitch. So Salas gives up back-to-back hits to start the ninth. Kind of sped up Infante's bat. I think that clock operator in New York has said, I quit. What's the point? Doesn't matter. 1 o'clock in the morning there.
At this point, they're hoping for a spring training game to say, oh, all right, it's a tie.
Out of pitchers.
It's a tie. Got to believe Escobar is going to be asked to square around the bunt here. As a pitcher, you try to get off the mound quickly to the third base side to try to get a force out at third. Perez doesn't run real well. You have a chance at a force out at third.
Joe's bunt. It's a beautiful bunt. Freeze, bare hand, throws to first, and the sacrifice works. As Perez advances to third, Infante to second.
Good bump by Escobar right down the line. That's what you want. You want to force the third baseman to field the ball. As a pitcher, you're trying to get over there quick enough to be able to allow your third baseman to stay back, but that was not the case.
So infield in now, and it's Mike Moustakas at the plate. Moustakas has had himself a 1-for-3 game as he singled to left in the 7th inning. And Moustakas gets hit again. It's the 3rd hit batter of the night for the Angels.
Moustakas not giving in his turns. And you don't necessarily have to, not pitch right there, you don't have to get out of the way of that one. Now, if you turn your leg in towards home plate, then it's up to the discretion of the home plate umpire if you're trying to be hit or not.
Here comes Mike Butcher with the bases loaded. Moustakas has been hit twice. Gordon's hit been once.
Moustakas almost got hit another time or two from Santiago inside.
Force out at any base. Lorenzo Cain at the plate. He's had a multi-hit game, a double and a single. He's also picked up an RBI. He struck out twice as well. And that almost hit Cain.
Yeah, I understand you want to go inside. A lot of times you'll do that with a man on third, but not with the bases loaded, because then that's a gift run. You're just trying to keep the ball down. You want a ground ball at your middle infielder to have an opportunity to turn double play. Man on third, no outs, jam him, yes, but not with the bases loaded.
Good pitch, down and in, an off-speed one. Perez at third base, Infante at second, and Moustakas at first. Two balls, one strike. Santiago, Pistano, Alvarez, Morin, and now Salas. Morin going just a third of an inning. Two on. Kane chops it foul. Cesar Ramos getting ready in the bullpen now for the Halos.
Not easy to double up Lorenzo Cain as he hits it hard at Eric Ibar. So for Salas, a strikeout would be huge right now.
Eric Hosmer on deck. Now the 2-2. Lifted foul. Out of play. Kind of a defensive swing there by Cain.
Try that quite a bit tonight, that high fastball against him.
Off speed and just missed in. Full count. No place to put him.
Change up off the inside corner.
Here's the payoff pitch. And he walks in a run. It's 4-2 Kansas City. That's going to be it for Salas. Not a very good home debut for the right-hander. Cesar Ramos, the lefty, is going to be called upon here with Hosmer coming to the plate. Pitching change. Kansas City leads it 4-2.
Top of the ninth, threatening for some more runs. And the South out of the game after walking Lorenzo Cain with the base loaded. Cesar Ramos in now to try get a double play. A nice ERA last year, 3.70 in 43 games. He also started 7 times in scoreless inning on his opening day. Very good breaking ball, fastball. 87 to 91 range for Ramos. Could use that ground ball double play.
Base is still loaded, and they are all property of Fernando Salas. Stock is over at second base, and Cain over at first. Fonte, the lead runner, over at third base. Kane gets credited with his second RBI of the night, has 6 now in the season. Here's Hosmer. 1 for 4 game, an RBI single back in the first. Now it's a foul. Four to 2 Royals.
I think they're playing a double play depth. A lot of times you'll see at this point of the game maybe the infield in. I think they can get a ground ball double play to prevent any more damage.
No balls and 2 strikes. And while the deficit just right now is 2 runs, it just seems so much greater for some reason.
It's because of that bullpen that Kansas City has, and the Angels remember it well from last year.
Oh, 2 now. And down goes Hosmer for the second out of the inning.
Nice pitching. Both fastballs in under the hands. Hosmer by Cesar Ramos. Perfect location. Hit that front shoulder in well, hit the baseball, and then came inside with a fastball. Hosmer looking out over the plate, instead got fastballs in.
Kendrys Morales steps in. Multi-hit game for him with a single and a home run. 2 for 4. Ground ball toward the middle. Giovatella's there. He'll race to the bag. They force out Kane. And that'll do it for the Royals here tonight. They do, however, tack on a run. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th. Halos down 4-2. Wade Davis taking over on the mound for Kansas City, looking to close it out. Holland getting the night off, and Davis, what an incredible season the Royals got out of him last year.
Yeah, 109 strikeouts and 72 innings pitched, an ERA right at 1. Put his batting average against 151. Fastball 93 to 97. Also the very good cut fastball and curveball. Strike throwing machine has been very aggressive out of the bullpen last 2 seasons here for Kansas City.
Crone, Ibar, and Iannetta, the scheduled batters to face Davis. Efren Navarro is available on the bench. TJ Crone 0 for 3, 0 for 9 to start the season. And the first fastball is in there for a strike. fastball up to 97.
Well, you need a base runner somehow, some way to be able to bring that tying run to the plate. Have to shorten up and make contact.
And a fastball right down the pipe, and Crone goes down looking for the first down.
Challenging with a fastball. And Davis, he didn't locate that fastball exactly where he wanted to under normal circumstance. You got to be looking for fastball.
Ivor hitless tonight. A couple of fly ball outs and a ground out.
Stock is playing in, respecting the ability of Eric Ibar to bunt.
Two balls and no strikes. That is down low. 3-0. Seven hits for the Angels, but when they've needed it, men in scoring position have not been able to get it.
Certainly taken here. I would even take two.
And there's ball four, so there's that base runner that you needed. It brings up the tying run to the plate.
It's been a real tough night for Chris Iannetta, but make up for it with one swing here against Davis.
Iannetta tonight 0 for 3. 3 strikeouts. 1 for 13 to start the season. Matt Joyce on deck.
His former teammate down here in Tampa.
Breaking ball's fouled off. Davis had it. No balls with 2 strikes. Ibar's not going anywhere. It'd be different if he represented the tying run. And Iannetta goes down swinging for the 4th time tonight. 2 outs.
And after a curveball that pitched before, a perfectly located fastball. Unable to make contact. And Chris has got to get back to that mode of trying to hit the ball the other way, not pulling at baseball. Just stay back and drive the other way.
So the Angels down to the last out here in the 9th. 2 outs and Ibar at first. And here's Joyce, who doubled as a pinch hitter in the 7th. Breaking ball for a strike. Fonte out in shallow right field. Don't fully overshift, although Escobar swung toward the middle of the infield. Nasty pitch, a little cut action in.
It's got a good cut fastball to neutralize left-handed batters.
An 0-2 count on Joyce with 2 outs here in the 9th. 1-2. 6:05 start tomorrow. Jared Weaver on the mound. The game will be shown on FS1. There's the 1-2. Joyce takes a called strike 3 in Kansas City. Takes the first one of the series. Tonight the final 4-2.
Well, that bullpen devastating. Jason Vargas was outstanding in his 6 innings. The bullpen of Kansas City, once again, very, very effective. Wade Davis picking up his first save of the season. Big game at the plate for Lorenzo Cain, a couple hits. Escobar did a nice job leading off. Just enough offense, but that bullpen devastating again.
The Angels had some opportunities, did not capitalize. Kansas City did. They win it 4-2. Stick around. Angels Live post-game show is coming up next.